So, obviously we talk and think about the NBA a lot. And I was thinking that it feels like there's a generational shift now. You've got LeBron, who's probably started the decline. You got KD, who's probably wasting the last years of his production on a team that's not going anywhere. Dame Lillard's post 30 and now he can't stay healthy. Klay Thompson's not the same. And basically I was thinking, all these 30 plus players that we, kind of adored, have now kind of hit their quota. And then I was thinking, well, what's the prime? Because obviously the prime has always been 27 to 33. We stereotypically recognized as being a player's ability to get their prowess to the highest level and then have team success and typically get championships, right? And there's a quite a big lineage of players around the age of 27 to 30 that win their first championship. We're talking Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, it's like Kawhi Leonard independently, not on the San Antonio Spurs. So, that's the real common thing. This is my pitch, though. I think the league is so talented and so deep these days that that prime window moving forward is actually going to be a lot shorter and maybe even earlier. So instead of the old stereotype of a player dominating from the age of 27 to 33, now a player needs to do their dominating by about 23 to 27. And that window is really short and the competitiveness keeps them from really getting a dynasty. So it's a really multi-layered take here. So, you look at Giannis, he's got his championship, but he's going up against players like Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, that are going to keep him probably from getting more championships than he would have otherwise gotten. And so I don't know how to frame this take perfectly, but what I want to basically say is seeing players dominate from 27 to 33 is now done. It's the young players in those mid 20 ranges that will get the work done. And that window is so competitive and so short that seeing players win multiple rings will become somewhat of a thing of the past.
You did promise me an abstract take. I'm trying
I
to
did.
put together your pieces here. So you're saying a player is going to dominate moving forward. Your take here is players between 23 and 27 are going to dominate the lead more so than ever before. But at 27 plus, they will cease to dominate so much.
No, I think that window between 23 and 27 will be so strong that that's where you get a lot of your contenders from. So those 27 to 33 dynasties that you typically had, I think will slip over a little bit. I don't think that they'll get the legs on them. The Warriors are a good example of a dynasty, but then what is another team, excluding LeBron constructed teams, that have sustained success, right? We've had a lot of blips in the system. We had Toronto winning their championship, but it was very much collated specifically for that purpose. The Cavs team that won the championship again collated for that purpose. Same for the Lakers one. It's there's not really that, like the way that I think about it is that Chicago Bulls, Utah Jazz, Detroit Pistons, you had these teams that were just regular occurrences, regular contenders for titles, and there was star players on each team, and it was always these couple of teams in contention. I think now the parity in the league is so much bigger. There's so many superstars at a young age that already are starting to make an impact. Luke is a great example at the age of 23. He's going to get a team to the conference finals, right? And so it's not that far-fetched to say that in the next 4 years, he probably will be in an NBA finals at some point. But that window is a lot harder to get through than it used to be. I think players used to get to a certain point of dominance. A team was properly built around them, but the league structure now doesn't enable that. You need short bursts in the pan to get over the hump, and that's how championships will be won moving forward. I don't know how you're going to spin this one. I'm so sorry for your editing.
I,
But
I, I feel that this one here is not really a take because we could probably debate this into a full length, feature length podcast. And you probably need to, I feel, for future reference, maybe bring some facts and statistics to this sort of abstract take to perhaps support what you're trying to say. Because I think firstly, I guess when you were started to explain what you're sort of saying, there was an article a few weeks ago that I was reading about how Morant and obviously Luka Doncic are in their prime now. And obviously they're younger than many other superstars, like you mentioned, like LeBron or MJ back then, and even players that peaked sort of in the late 20s. Okay. These players, these superstars are now peaking sub 25. Okay. And obviously they're playing at an extremely high level. They could, potentially be in the MVP conversation and get to the finals, maybe win a championship in that sort of way. But I think there's still that factor of weighting an average age of a team. Okay, it's one thing to have a generational superstar, but I guess for example, say Victor Wembanyama comes into the league, he'll be 19, 20. Okay, he's going to be a huge talent, but without the right pieces around him, without the right veterans around him, okay, I don't think he's necessarily just going to be successful just like that. Okay, and same with like we're talking about, Luca needs the right pieces, Jar needs the right pieces, even Giannis needs the right pieces, and now he's obviously, what is he, like 27, I think, something like that. Okay, that obviously, that's a core element here of windows for championships. Okay, and obviously you're absolutely right. There's young talent that can be a core aspect of a championship, but I think a weighted age is still really relevant. And I think now, if you think about that, though, it means that players are still going to peak later as an average, because we're talking about 400 players or so, not just a handful of superstars. Okay, versus this sort of idea that we're going to get much more peaks in 23 to 27 sort of bracket. I don't know, but again, like I said, it feels like both arguments here probably can come with some supporting evidence to maybe take this further to how what you're trying to put forth on the take.
Yeah, look, I ticked it over in my head and I just didn't know how to frame it correctly. And then the data doesn't support what I'm saying just yet. So, your big NBA superstars do typically win their championships by the age of 27. Giannis is actually one of the few that won it before that age. But what I'm trying to say, like, maybe the take is that age is going to lower as years progress. We're going to see younger superstars win championships and change that prime window perceptually. So, enjoy that one.